Hey guys, welcome back to another Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath video commentary. My name is Green Zero and we have another game here for you today. And this one has really quickly moved onto the replay, or the popular replays tab, and I saw it. I've been keeping an eye on replays for the last 2 weeks because I do obviously have access to a better internet connection. I have been doing a lot of streaming, but it means if I make videos, I can upload them in like 5 minutes, so that's great. Unfortunately, it's coming to the end of my vacation time here, so I'll be heading back to my home state and back to my ADSL 2 Plus, which just isn't capable of the upload speeds necessary to stream, but hopefully in the future that will change. A lot of NBN being rolled out. If you're an Australian, you know all about that. That's our high-speed internet, which they're rolling out to the country, which is about halfway done. But anyway, we're gonna go into this replay here. I hope you've been enjoying the streams. Head on over to my Twitch. There's a link in the description. I've saved all my previous broadcasts. There's a lot of good games on there actually. If you like games, and I know I've got a lot of people watching the stream, and shout out there to Toxic Shock and Phantom. I know they've been loving the stream so much. They've just been on there every day going, yeah, Green Zero, in between bans that is. But we've spoken for a while, and we're gonna jump into this game because we have unleashed UA and Cyberstorm, that's it. On the left-hand side of Tournament Highlands, it is going to be Cybercloud playing as a GDI faction. Now, it is a random mirror, by the way, so he's GDI Vanilla, which means Unleashed UA is going to be Reaper 17. Well, apparently you just go dual port. Well, what is he doing, actually? Does he not realize there is a spike up there? He needs more engineers. He's got 2 engineers. What is he doing? He's actually rushing out buzzers to try to take Cyberstorm Spike. Now, Cyberstorm will capture it because it's closer to him, and he sent his first engineer there, but he won't be able to defend against 3 buzzers. He does get one. Oh, geez. Oh, my God. He almost lost a second swarm there. He actually didn't do the attack properly, finally clearing out the buzzer swarm there. So he will secure this building. Now, Cyberstorm really doesn't have anything to go and grab that. That assimilator, though, is extremely slow. And it will take, it's quite a distance to cover to get there. Now, Unleashed has secured both of his spikes. Now, he was Reaper 17, I'm not sure if I already said that. I'm really looking forward to this game. This is a technique map. Highlands has been slightly redesigned. If you've seen it in past videos, you notice it is a little bit different in how the layout is done, especially the edges of the map here. These areas have been slightly redesigned and things like that to make the spike a bit closer and stuff like that. Highlands, I don't think, has the problems of Odyssey and Galaxy, which are horrendous in my opinion, and I would never pick them. And I've spoken to Technique numerous times about this. Highlands isn't as bad. It's not as bad. All right, it's not as bad. It's still a bit on edge. I'm still not sold on it, but I have been playing on it quite a bit, and it's definitely not producing the type of games that the other 2 maps, Galaxy and Odyssey, were. Galaxy and Odyssey, obviously very popular. Big open flat maps with no terrain are very popular because they're very noob friendly. That's the reason why they get played. So the popularity might not necessarily be that it's a good map. It's just it's easy to play on, and people will tend to favour easy to play maps. The problem is that maps like that tend to have much less emphasis on strategy and much more emphasis on just ploughing out as many units as possible and throwing them down the guts, which doesn't necessarily suit my particular play style. I like to work in a lot of control groups. Now, I really haven't been focusing on what's actually happening here. 5 and 2 for Cyberstorm, 6 Harvester, and now, whoa, where are you going? He didn't know where he was going. He's actually expanding to the middle field, which is not that common so far. And he's making a real mess of getting to this blue Tiberian field. Normally, I would probably go to the top field if I was on this side of the map, because then you could drive to your expansion, which is close by. But Cyberstorm, wow, he's actually going all the way across the map, and Unleash is going to spot this. He's actually sending a lot of disintegrators to the top. Now, he's Reaper 17, so, I mean, this is typical of Unleash to do crazy stuff. He has actually expanded. He's got a nerve center down, which means he's going to be able to produce Devourer tanks, which almost certain he's going to be producing. Actually, a Shardwalker comes out there. He does spot the deploy. Now, Cyberstorm, I think, may have wanted to move across the map. Obviously, the map is so gigantic that it's not really that feasible. I mean, unless he got it all the way across without it being spotted, Unleash would also always have a big advantage on such a large map. He's going to continue to push across the map, actually. Unleash, of course, that Buzzer Swarm will keep vision over here as well, just attacking that with the unit there. And he's got a Harvester over here. He got about half, actually cleaned up most of the Tib field there. And Lightning Spike, of course, coming down. He's only got half a tank, though. Not worth it, especially since this Harvester spent a lot of time driving back and forth there. Unleash not taking the top area either. Now, he does hold 3 Spike, which is very nice. His Disintegrator squads will flank, and the machine guns on the Harvesters will provide some defense. Not sure if it's going to be enough. Actually, some damage there. I'm not sure what damage that Harvester. Not 100% sure. Unleash didn't appear to have any units over there. Dev tanks coming out, he's making sure those are charged up. Dev tanks in open space will do pretty well. Actually, no, he is going for an expansion. I think Cyberstorm realized now that he does kind of have to expand now. It's taking too long, it's too slow to get across the map, and Unleash is now going to be appropriately ready for it. Actually, 2 warp spheres come down. Needs to make sure these dev tanks are charged. The disintegrators will come in. They will get a harvester, but the machine guns on the harvesters adequate to dispatch this. Oh, actually, no. Is he going to lose a second one? It's going to be tight, and he crushes them. Oh my god, that crush move saved him. I don't even think that was intentional. I think the harvester just happened to drive over them, and it's often worth doing that sometimes. If a harvester is about to die, get another harvester to just run them over, because that harvester obviously has more health and will be able to withstand the explosion damage a bit better. But a lot of dev tanks coming out, and dev tanks in this situation are going to be like phenomenal. Like they're one of the best units for the Scrin faction, especially in situations like this, because they have a lot of range. They have great range. They always have their front armor facing the enemy because they're like a hover tank, and they haven't got a fixed turret, and they can move and shoot very well. And their damage when they're charged, which Unleash has almost all of these charged, except for those 2 at the back there, they do an enormous amount of damage. And Cyberstorm with just tanks alone. There's the stasis. He should probably not have got the War Factory in the stasis, because he probably could have destroyed that. And now Cyberstorm, this is actually very smart. He's getting behind the stasis. That's something I tell a lot of people. If you get stasis, get the other half, because they use it to cut your army in half. Get behind the stasis, because Unleash can't shoot through the stasis. It's like a giant building. And now the stasis is worn off. He didn't really do enough damage to Cyberstorm though. Cyberstorm is going to fight. There's actually repair drones here. This is a lot of stuff. And Cyberstorm is going to fight here now. This is going to be pretty tight. And the dev tank's just shelling out so much damage. Look at all the Predator tanks going down. That is devastating for the GDI player, by the way. The tank line was absolutely decimated. There's still 5 dev tanks here as well. They have now expended their charge. And Unleash, very intelligent. He'll be making his getaway with these 5 dev tanks here. All of them are now completely out of TIB, which means their damage actually much lower. I mean, a lot of people don't realize it, but yeah, when you don't have charge, the dev tanks don't really do that much damage. It's all about the charge. When they have charge, it's crazy. When they don't have charge, it's alright, but for a $1,600 unit, you want them to be a lot better than that. Aren't they $1,600 these days? Yeah, they are. I was right about that. Now, Cyberstorm has one thing going for him. He has the middle expansion, which means if this game goes late, he'll be able to expand backwards, and it'll be very difficult for Unleash to try to contest that. Someone is messaging me on Skype. Hopefully they don't spam me unless it's Master Leaf. He's probably crying, my lag, my brain. Something along those lines. But Unleashed has now taken expansion. Obviously, he put a lot into that attack and the defense as well, but Unleashed definitely came out ahead in that engagement. He needs a second ref. This has to be a second ref right now, otherwise he might be in a bit of trouble, and it is going to be a second ref. He's going to recharge these dev tanks. This is giving Cyberstorm some time to rebuild his force. Obviously the line of infantry there would have prevented those dev tanks from really doing anything. Very smart retreat there by Unleashed. He knew he'd done critical damage, and he knew that sticking around would only result in his dev tanks dying for no further gain, which means for his next push, he now has 5 extra dev tanks, and 2 of those actually not being recharged. Does replant a second warp sphere, so he sold one off to get his expansion going. A lot of shard walkers coming out. Do we have the tier 2 upgrade on the way? Yes, we do have attenuated force fields, which is going to make these shard walkers a nightmare to deal with. Again, the infantry really are, I think he's overcompensated. Cyberstorm has not invested that heavily in the infantry. There's only a handful of squads here. We bring up the health bars right now. You can see maybe about 7 or 8 missile squads there. Well, probably about 10 or 11. He's not further producing anymore. He's still producing tanks, which of course will help against the shard walkers there. But well, here we go. We have an Explorer coming out, which Unleash is a big fan of these. He's going to go all the way around the map to expand up here. Something which Cyberstorm is not going to be too aware of. There's going to be attack here. Keep in mind there's a lot of Tiberium on the green field in the center, which means Cyberstorm will not be expanding for quite some time, I'd imagine. And now he's taking gunfire here from this army. This is pretty tight here though. Unleashed, yeah, going to be able to take that War Factory down. Cyberstorm falling back into his base, realizing, oh, he's actually got a tech center. He needs to have a sonic emitter, and it is behind that structure there. That is going to be very difficult to take care of. He might just be able to bum rush it and try to snipe it down, but it will do a lot of damage going. Only 2 shots to kill a dev tank, by the way, and he will come through. A dev tank will fall. He might be able to get that. He does pop the first one. He splits his army in 2. One goes left, one goes right here. This might actually work out in his favor for Unleashed UA, but Cyberstorm is defending quite well. He's making a good stand here, and I think he will be able to push Unleashed back. Unleashed decides, yep, cool, I've had enough, and he will back off. The tech center there, dev tank just weathering that sonic shot. These dev tanks, though, are not actually charged. He might want to retreat further to the northeast there instead of trying to just go directly north, because Cyberstorm is chasing. And like I was saying before, the TIV field here, there's so much type units, it's a very large field, and Cyberstorm has not touched much of it, which means I don't think Cyberstorm is going to be very interested in expanding anytime soon, which means Unleashed UA... He actually forgot about his Explorer on us. That's super duper slow unit though, isn't it? Still trying to get its way up to the top side there. So Unleashed is definitely thinking late game, and of course with the... he's actually got railguns done, and he's going for Juggernauts. I'm not sure about Juggernauts. I would have gone for tanks, especially against Reaper, because yeah, look at this. Unleashed UA now is going for his tier 3, and no doubt he will start to pump these tripods out. The Force did head up here, and it will be charging up, so that will be able to hit the main. To be honest, Cyberstorm could just sell everything in the main. I don't know why he's keeping a ref. He's obviously a bit busy. You don't need to keep 2 ref there. He could get himself another 600 bucks. Now going for his infantry upgrade, so he has decided... Actually, no, is that going to be... This could be power packs. It could be... It is, it's power packs, so this is something we don't see very often. For those of you who don't know what it is, or don't see it, it's 30 seconds, $1,000, so it's pretty cheap. Which we have an attack coming in here. It gives the zone troopers increased hit points, so it basically gives them more health, and it also makes them self-regenerate, so they actually self-heal when they're outside of combat. Now this phase, of course, I'm not sure about this. He actually gets a harvester. This is causing him to scatter his army, but unfortunately, Unleash is not actually moving in on the other side of this. He's pushing Cyberstorm very far out of position here. But he's not really, and finally he's realised, hey, I could actually start shooting these structures down here. There is a sonic emitter still left over there. Another one has been queued up, and no doubt he's going to drop that. He's going to get his phase unit out of there. So he kind of just expended his phase, and he made Cyberstorm run around a fair bit. He did, of course, crush a harvester or two. He will actually lose that, unfortunately, and he does have conversion reserves, which was a good upgrade to get, because 1, he could get it very quickly, and 2, he already has a lot of dev tanks left over, so... We actually had these zone troopers coming in. Scanner packs is done, which gives increased sight range and a bit of stealth detection. Not obviously important for fighting Reaper, but the extra range is going to be nice. And Unleashed UA needs to kind of engage here. Yeah, he's realised, hey, what's going on here? A lot of zone troopers, a lot of rail weapons. This is something that people have identified as this kind of late year meta or something like that. That zone troopers are really good against Scrin. So rail preds and zone troopers, obviously a very late game type of strategy. You got to watch out for the buzzer swarm though, which is no doubt going to happen. There's the buzzers, and he will back off with the jump. The buzzers are now dispatched. He's actually got these guys ranked up here as well, and he will be crushing through the tanks. The Predator tanks really had no chance in that fight. This Reaper force is way too heavy for them, but the zone troopers take really no damage at all from the tripods and the dev tanks. He needs shard walkers. These other units are just piling damage into the zone troopers. It doesn't do anything. And now he's actually fighting. There's actually an attack going in here as well. He will be clearing out the main area. But Unleashed needs to not fight that. Oh my god. Yeah, he needs to get out of there. And now the shard walkers are just trickling in. And of course the zone troopers will just destroy them relatively easily. That warp sphere actually very low on health here. He needs to try to hold this off. He might need some buzzer hives as well to come down. He's got a defense queued. It is going to be a buzzer hive. But they have paper armor, and it's just immediately dispatched. He's having trouble getting rid of those. Meanwhile, where did the dev tanks over here go? There were some dev tanks. I'm not sure if he actually Q moved them back to his base or what, but Unleash is having a really tough time stopping these zone troopers. There's an elite squad. He needs to watch out. That buzzer hive there. He will jump. That was a really short jump jet. He really should have jumped further than that. And yeah, look at that. He just insta-snipe these if they're not behind a structure, and he's having a really tough time trying to deal with these zone troopers now. He just doesn't have anything here. He's trying to pump some units out. And now he's starting to lose his base, of course. Look at this. I did not see this base so well developed. Oh my god, the ninja base. He's having trouble defending. He might just want to evacuate this area right now. His tech center is in danger of going down. Cyber is getting very close to that. He now has buzzers. Yeah, this is the problem. Once the buzzers are out here, then he kind of needs to pull back a little bit. But fully upgraded zone troopers, you don't see this too often. But he's having trouble dealing with it. Oh, these dev tanks. Not sure where they went, but they're magically back here again. So does manage to take out the main. There are some units responding. To be honest, these Juggernauts have been 100% useless for Cyberstorm. I'm not sure why he built them. He should just build Mammoth tanks. If he built Mammoth tanks with his own troopers, that's the way to go. Actually forces the cell. He's going to overrun this base head area. He will overrun this. And these zone troopers are starting to rank up. There are 2 elite squads. There's a veteran squad there. There's 2 veteran squads. Oh, he's got a heroic squad. He's got a heroic squad. Oh my god. There's actually only 3 members in the squad. What he could do is he could pull that back to his armory, and he could actually put them in the armory, and that would replenish all the dead members, something that people don't obviously, because an armory is not usually kept around for very long. You usually get it for your upgrades and you sell it. You only need to keep it around if you want sniper teams or if you want to build a commando. And he's been completely pushed out of this area now. Oh, actually, no, hang on. Apparently they do have all 4 members because it's at full health, so there you go, something I wasn't aware of, unless there's a second heroic squad, which no, there is not. And he's just allowing the space to be destroyed, and Cyberstorm must be at this point, it's like, hang on a second, wait a second, where's your base? Where is your base? Unleash still must have forces. Did he? I don't think he did pull some of his harvesters, so he's going to save some of them. Now, APM is not actually done, so these hammerheads are just kind of driving around. Oh my god, he needs to be careful about that. That is not something... Cyberstorm has spotted this now. He's like, what? He's like, what? What is this? What is this? He's going to lose that hammerhead. Can't really be afford to throw those ones away. He is not even researching APM. So obviously, because he hasn't used it before in this fight, he's obviously hasn't realized it hasn't been upgraded. He's going for zone heads, obviously. Does he know how to use zone heads? Does Unleash know how to counter zone heads? You should think so. He's going to come into this base, and Cyberstorm all of a sudden is in deep trouble. Is he actually going to be able to hold on to this base head here? That one Juggernaut falls. The tech center is now under attack. He's not actually queuing a sonic emitter. There's no sonic emitter. These Juggernauts may be able to save that. The zone heads are now running. They are running, and you've got to be really careful because they can kite. They can kite these shard walkers. He's going to need M.O.R.P.H or Storm Riders, or he's going to have to push with shards. He does actually get the tech center, but those dev tanks will go down. And he's going to come in here. What he could do, he could use the shard walkers. He's got enough of them to push these guys away. Oh, he's got to be careful. He's got to be careful. He was in range there momentarily, and he is in range again. Oh, Unleash is not doing a good job. He's got them on the same control group. Unleash is not controlling this too well. He could cover these tripods while they destroy the MCV, but he's going to lose this fight. He's going to lose this fight. This is the thing. You can kite. He actually gets one of them. And that's a big win. He gets another... Oh, he doesn't quite get another one. But there's zone heads in here that are very heavily ranked up, and they're going to rank up even further with these tripod kills. What Unleash should have done there, he should have just bum rushed into this base with his shard walkers, because the shard walkers can deny the hammerheads from going to a particular location. Yes, he can kite them, but it will take quite some time to kite them all down. And oh, can he get that one? Oh my god, it's so close to dying. Don't stop, Cyberstorm. Get on it. Get a move on. And yeah, here we go. So he's got Storm Riders. He's going to try to build these up. He has a fair bit of tib to work with though. Cyberstorm though, oh, he is actually going to start trying to cap these ones. And he is going to have to destroy these husks. He needs to repair these hammerheads. He can't engage until these are repaired. He can absolutely not afford to lose those ones. I don't think he's going to get this tripod. Oh, he might actually get the tripod. He's trying to go for it. Oh, it stops momentarily, and he will get it. Oh, he needs to be so careful with those. You got to remember, zone troopers don't shoot over buildings. He might just want to clean up that last husk. Unleash is really dragging his feet here. He tries to clean that husk up. And, oh man, he's still going to leave some husks behind. That's unfortunate. He can totally bum rush that one. There we go. Needs to be quite careful. Needs to get some more repairs on here. But Unleash UA, yeah, the Shard Walkers are not the answer. He's getting Storm Riders. Now, there's absolutely no double A here for Cyber. He does have the ability to build slingshots and build the turrets, but I don't believe he has Tungsten Shell. No reason to have that one there. An Orchestrite comes in. Where is this actually targeted? He will spot. If he hasn't already spotted it, he'll spot them now that there is going to be Storm Riders. You look at that, immediate cancel on whatever that was. And he realizes now he might have to bail out his zone troopers in order to save them. And he is going to try to focus them down. He doesn't know which ones have zone troopers. That's really good, by the way. Oh, he pops one. He pops one. It's not the one with the heroics in it, though. And that's actually a good move there. That's actually, he needs to back off with these Storm Riders now. He doesn't want to stay there. So he lost, well, he only lost 2 hammerheads, but he's actually going to re-pop them now. No Tungsten Shell. Cyberstorm is really hurting on the economy. So Unleash has the ability now to, I mean, he might want to expand again. Yes, he is actually expanding again. And here we go. Plasma Missile Battery, something you don't want to see as a Zone Raid or Zone Trooper Hammerhead player. And of course, he's going to come over here. Oh, these Shard Walkers. Cyberstorm has demonstrated he doesn't know how to kite appropriately with these. And the thing is, the more Shard Walkers you build, the more it's just not going to work. It's just not going to happen. And look at this, he's just going to pick them apart. The hammerheads, sorry, the slingshots now are pushing away the Storm Riders. There's nothing on the ground to deal with this. He's going to need M.O.R.P.H. He's actually letting his harvesters get destroyed. He's going to pull them back now to the... easy thing you can do is select the harvesters, just push the hotkey for whatever return to extractor is, and they will back off. But here we go. He maybe could have got one then. Oh, here we go. Here we go. He might be able to get a kill on this one. It's going to be tight. It's going to be very tight. He will get one. Oh, he's going to get another one. Oh my god, that's tight. Oh, he's going to get it now. It's going to die for sure. There we go. The heroic Zone Trooper squad is dead. Whatever was... Oh, he's actually cutting a corner there. That was tight. So Unleash will survive, but thanks to these plasma missile batteries, you've got to be so careful with them going into a screen base. If he came around the top side, he could actually destroy the power plant, and then power plants wouldn't be a problem. But of course, Cyberstorm can't see what we can see. The slingshots will come back to base here. They do have a handful of kills on them. We'll be cleaning this up here, and he will be taking the blue tip field. It looks like Unleash was taking the blue tip field at the top, by the way. I couldn't imagine that would be Cyberstorm attempting to take that. And he is now refining over here, but things just slowing down just a little bit. Unleashed UA does have a number of harvesters here. He does have, I believe, some Storm Riders floating around. So I'm looking on the radar for them. I don't know where they are. Important to note that Unleash holds 3 spike. He still holds 3 spike. We got 4 Storm Riders over here as well. Looks like that might be the entirety of the Storm Riders. And Cyberstorm, look at the field, look at the middle field. It looks like it's barely been touched, yet he's been here for like 15 minutes. He's just had such a hard time refining. His economy definitely isn't where it needs to be. And of course, he's been attacked quite a bit. The Zone Troopers squads were a really good idea. He's still got the armory. He's actually been putting, you can see there's a Zone Trooper squad here. He obviously put that into the armory. They will automatically bail out once they have been repaired. You can, of course, there'll be like an icon here. You can automatically bail them out if you don't want them to, because it does take like a little bit of time for them to re-heal up. It's not instantaneous. It takes like a few seconds. But nonetheless, he has been trying to replenish his forces here, and he could easily put some of these other Zone Trooper squads into the armory. He's got to be careful though. Where are the zone heads? Actually, there's only one zone head left, wasn't there? He's actually running it. What is he doing? Oh my god, he's actually giving away all these shard walkers. Oh my god, Alex, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my, and he's just used his phase field as well. Storm Riders come in, but there's 2 slingshots there which are not even going to get shot at because there's phase units there. Wow, Unleash made a mess of that, and I think he panicked and used his phase, revealing now that he does have tech at his disposal. These shard walkers might just want to get out of there. Oh, a buzzer swarm comes in. Oh, it cleans up a lot. Oh my god, that's devastating. Oh, that was devastating. That buzzer swarm cleaned up a lot of squads. Although, you know what? There's a lot of red squads here, and yeah, he's gonna be doing this. He's gonna pop it right back into the armory. You can see there we have that. What is that noise? I think the dishwasher is finished. But yeah, nonetheless, he's going to put them on, and he gets a full squad back out of it again. He's going to want to keep cycling those guys in as well. Here we go. So that's actually an elite squad, and he puts the veteran squad in. Give it a couple of seconds, and it's going to pop out. And there we go, full squad. Doesn't cost you anything. Now, he has got M.O.R.P.H, which is a really good idea. These are disc mechas. Although, having said that, I think, yeah, the hammerheads are pretty much all finished. They're history, aren't they? They're all pretty much gone. So what Unleashed needs to do now is he needs to go back to his tripoding. He needs to get tripods out. He's actually, oh my god, he's got an outpost over here. I actually can't wait to see the economy in this game at the end to see who gets more Tiberium, because right now Unleashed has, he harvested this field full, he harvested this field full, he's taken the blue Tiberium several times, he's harvested this field, he's now harvesting this field, and he's going back to this field where Cyberstorm has already just harvested this field and just kind of half of this one. He's been sitting here for quite some time. Looks like he's trying to get an engineer out, perhaps to get the spikes, because he can Unleash. Oh, he actually holds 4 spike. Unleashed economy is through the... He must have had so much more money. He's actually got no money right now, but he's probably trying to build a little bit too much. He's got... Like, this is just piggy in the middle, isn't it? He's got Cyberstorm stuck in the middle of the map. This is actually a really hard base for Cyberstorm to defend, because Unleash can attack him from any direction, and there is no terrain in which to mount a defensive stand from. He's going for a M.O.R.P.H though. Unleash is not going to be enjoying that. He's actually coming over here, and there's a double ref over here. Wow, if he spots this, he doesn't know. He comes in, and he sees, hey, plenty of Tiberium over here. Let's just back off. And he's going to expand there. He's got no idea the base is on the right-hand side. And this is really actually quite brilliant here from Unleashed to put that back there, because when you check the field, you check this side because you expect the base to be on this side, but it's not. It's on the other side. This is a crazy game. This harvester might just give away the fact that that base is there if Cyberstorm is checking it out. Storm Riders come in. There's actually a lot of Storm Riders. Where are those slingshots? The slingshots are out of position. Where are the slingshots? Did they get destroyed? I'm not even sure where they are. They're actually here. They're sitting here doing nothing, and Predator tanks are now being destroyed by these Storm Riders. They are now responding, but you know what? I think he could overrun these 2 slingshots. He's just going to overrun them. There's only 2 there. There's no tungsten shell as well, which means he can engage that. He will actually not focus his targeting there, which will allow some of these units to escape. Tungsten shell is on the way though. This wouldn't be Pitbull more. He's already got railguns, so he can only be the tungsten AA shells upgrade. which of course if you're going back for zone heads, you'll want those. But he does hold those M.O.R.P.H. I'm not sure where they are. Oh my god, these guys are close. Do they even see each other? Unleash doesn't see him, and no, they don't see each other at all. So that's going to be a bit of an issue. I'm not sure if Unleash is going to be able to defend that base, just because he doesn't have an army over there. He's actually expanding to... Oh my god, he's going to have four bases. This is an insane game. He doesn't even have a ref queued right now, which means Cyberstorm's probably not going to realize Unleash is here for quite some time. I'm not sure whether... I mean, Unleash doesn't know he's there either. That Storm Rider, that Lightning Spike just being annoying. It's actually going to come up here. I mean, I don't know what Unleash has done with a lot of his money, because he hasn't actually built a lot of an army here. A Storm Column will come down. He needs to get the Storm Riders over here if he can somehow dispatch the Slingshots. And he has another phase where it's actually got double storms. He's doing double storm drop. And you know what? I think he should just build tripods, because he's building Predator tanks, which are not particularly good against that. He will be destroying that blue tip harvester there. He's actually going to come in. He's going to focus down both of those, what do you call it? Both of those storm columns. And he will get the refinery. Now, this is the only refinery over here. The storms, oh god, they've got to be careful there. Those tungsten shell. He might want to keep the crush up over here. And he's going to go for the crush. He lost his tech center, which is going to reset him for a bit. He might have to go for dev tanks. This tripod just still trying to crush his way through this base head here. If Unleashed loses this base, it's going to be a bit of a blow, because there was quite a bit of tech here as well. And this tripod will go down because it's the only tripod really here. Whoa, no power for Cyberstorm as well. Oh, look at this. There's actually a push over here as well. So we've got a lot happening. He's going to be able to probably destroy this whole base set up here. Unleashed might just be wanting to sell it off. Oh, God, look at those. Look at that Sonic going to do a lot of damage, but he is going to come in, and the MCV is actually in pretty big danger of going down. He's going to focus it. He's not going to get that Sonic emitter out. That Sonic emitter is not going to... He laser fences it. He might be able to squeeze one more out, but can he hope to defend this base head? I don't think he can hope to defend it. It's going to be tight. No, it will be cancelled. He almost got that Sonic emitter down. It was a second away from completing. And with this falling, there's no build radius, which doesn't really matter, but Unleashed is losing his base in the top. All of his technology is going down. He's still building from this foundry, but he's about to lose it. Can he drop that structure? Yeah, no, he doesn't. It gets cancelled. Storm Riders now coming in. They will be completely obliterated. He's going to watch out. There's some Mecha-Peeds here, but he's not controlling the Storm Riders, and they will be destroyed. Can he kill some of these slingshots in the retreat? 3 slingshots, oh, almost a 4th. He gets them all. 2 Storm Riders remain, but there's another turret over here, and he will have to back off. I'm not sure where the zone heads are. There's Disintegrator squads, which means, I mean, he's obviously very low tech, so he's desperate to defend this. But again, the Railgun Predator tanks will have a hard time actually penetrating Disintegrator defense. And now, pumping out another MCV. He's missing a hard point. He's going to the top base here. There's quite a bit of Tiberium, but Unleashed is just refining like a kid. I don't know what is he doing? Oh my god, he seems to just have like massive amounts of random buildings everywhere. Unleashed is obviously, because he's been deteched a few times, he has to retech, and that costs him money. These guys here, he even puts a photon cannon down, but he might just have to back off here. There is an MCV here, and the Disintegrators will ultimately be dealt with. There's not enough of them. They can't actually catch up to these tanks very quickly. And I would just turn around if I was Unleashed. He's actually just hemorrhaging some forces over here. It's not what you want to see happen. He knows that Cyberstorm is moving to the top left now, but Unleashed just needs to hunker down. He needs to build a force. Like, I don't understand what he's using his money on, because he's got so much economy in this game. He's got $20,000. He's got $20,000. He's trying to get his tech back. He's trying to re-tech. What, he needs to put this down and cure... Was it? My god, his macro is failing him right now. His macro is failing him. There's a lot of Disintegrators here, and they will actually be able to dispatch most of this. The Mecha-Peeds are getting shot at, but they are killing Zone Trooper squads. Meanwhile, a battle over here is going to lose this drone ship for sure. That drone ship will go down. Meanwhile, Storm Rider is being destroyed. The Mecha-Peeds have decimated most of the Zone Trooper squads. Actually, another heroic squad coming out there. These guys here might want to pull back, but Unleashed UA, he's got so much money. He has so much. He's got $24,000. He can't build anything. He's built 14 portals in this game. Oh, this is devastating for him. He's actually going to be overrun here, I think. I don't think he can actually hold off. He just doesn't have the production. His macro has let him down. He's going to status this area here. He's lost the base over here as well. I'm not sure he's going to be able to hold this area. There is one Mecha-Peed remaining, but he needs to really defend this base. He needs to defend it with everything he's got. There's a few photon cannons here, which will be able to do quite nicely. Photon cannons, of course, quite a good tier 2 base defense. The Disintegrators are just failing. They're just completely 100% failing. Now there's a M.O.R.P.H moving over here. what is he doing? He's not constructing any technology at all. He's got his tier 2. He's trying to build dev tanks, but he's being completely overrun. He needs a ninja base. He needs one now. And he's got no more. I can't believe this. He's actually going to... And he had a foundry. He had multiple drone platforms, and he couldn't retech. I can't help but feel that this was Unleashed's game to have. And Cyberstorm is now... He's got him in a position where Unleashed doesn't have the time now to get the units he needs. He's actually being completely overrun. There is a M.O.R.P.H over here. He can spam disintegrators, but that's really all he has at his disposal. These are his last bases, and he still holds 4 spikes. He now has $16,000. Cyberstorm has nothing. He's re-expanding to the top side here, but this is, I mean, Unleashed must be disappointed with this game. And I think, yeah, his macro definitely let him down. If you could imagine if he had turned that into tripods, he'd be fine. He'd be winning this game. But Cyberstorm in his center strong point base here. The M.O.R.P.H will be destroyed. The disintegrators, you can see there's the thing where they'll actually just bum rush into it and they'll detonate. And of course the M.O.R.P.H will die. The drone ship, whatever was happening to that, it is just standing now. How's he going to stop this? He's not going to be able to stop this. You can see there, all the APCs and Predators are now being moved to this base head area over here. There's actually no Harvesters left from Unleashed. I don't know what he's going to do here now. This is... Oh man, it was just so... it was a really good game. It was a really good game. It was a really cool game. But I just can't help but feel that Unleashed really let this just slip away with not being able to macro properly. He had time. He had the production structures. So he had 2 drone ships or 3 drone ships and a foundry and stuff, and he was not able to reproduce the tech he needed. There's actually a heroic Predator tank in there, and now this is going to be the last attack. Still a few Storm Miners remaining. He's going to be careful. He's not just going to throw his army away here. He's actually destroying quite a bit of that army, but it's not going to matter. Cyberstorm is now overpowering him, and the last of those units now will be destroyed, and this is his last base. And Unleashed will go down here. He's basically out of money. He burned all his money on disintegrators. And that's going to be the end of the game. So he's going to fight right down until he has nothing left. Cyber has a base in the top left, of course, which is still funding this area right now. It's accidentally force-fired the ground there. There we go. So Unleashed will be defeated. And so first off, that was a really good game. Obviously, that was really well played by Cyberstorm. He did a lot of things right in that game. Unleashed did feed quite a bit too much, and Unleashed is known for doing that in his later years. Definitely a lot thrown away. Look at the resources graph. We have to go back to that. Oh my god. He's so far ahead economically. That's one of the biggest disparities I've ever seen. Let's have a look at the stats. 32 minutes. Structures. He almost created 100 structures. He had twice as much structures than Cyberstorm, almost. Although he basically lost everything. Structures destroyed, obviously in Cyberstorm's favor again. Unleashed just couldn't hold on to his bases, and again, the money he had at the end, I'm saying it was a very, very good game, but I just can't help but feel that Unleashed really let that one slide. I mean, not guaranteeing him the win or anything like that, but if he actually turned that money into what it needed to be, he would have definitely still be alive. The game would still be going. 2.51 kill death ratio. It's expected with the disintegrators coming out. So here we go. $365,600 to Unleashed, $259,800 to Cyberstorm. So he got over 100. He got $106,000 more. $106,000 more, and he still lost in that game. There was a bit too much feeding from Unleashed, not enough macro as well, and not going back for his tech. Unable to deal with those zone heads. He just built the wrong units for too long. He built too many shards for too long until he decided, hang on a second, I need mechas and storms that gave Cyberstorm so much time to get back in that game. But that was a really good game. I really enjoyed that. I hope you guys enjoyed that game. I'm Green Series. Stay tuned to my channel, and I'll be back with some more Kane's Wrath action as soon as possible.